them at such a disadvantage. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game number 5. We've got 2 games left, and here we go. In the cave, TE's LYD going to pick up a pole sword here, going in a 2v1 against XCG. It looks like they're going to come out the Karumi tether coming out, and oh my goodness, the triple charge from the Takeda is going to come out, and then we're going to see the Tessa Charm coming out from LYD, but he is going to go down. Leo here is going to end up getting parried. Han taking a lot of that damage as well. TE's Han going down, Leo going down, and XCG just powering through, absolutely demolishing Team TE right off the rip.
Fireflies and Takeda and Secret Tunnel is the scariest combination because you're just lined up, you're going to get hit, you're going to get shredded by that ultimate. So makes sense why they go for it. DRG throwing down the Bane's Breath here as they're going to get control of the area for this fight that is coming up. Are going to just try and stick within it, trying to bait J-Team in. J-Team evading and avoiding away from getting caught out. They are railed by that one. Health bars liquefied. J-Team out of there. Ah, that was like 2 on top of one another. That was brutal.
They're on some very thin ice. Haha. J-Team's Lee healing back up with 1 HP there. And wow, they were so close to being able to pop off with that ult combo, but they just had to get out of there super fast because they got hit with a couple of those bursts from the Bane's Breath. DRG getting saved completely by those, and they don't have enough resources to heal J-Team's Lee right now. This is going to be to heal ZE. It looks like Lee was able to get a few pots off. This is going to be difficult for them here. They do have a few gray pots, but they are pretty spread out at the moment. They are going to need to try and find some more loot to scale up. They do have the Tesla ultimate back online for at least 1 charge. So they could try and re-engage in a fight, but it's not in their best interest right now because these teams now have their ultimates up and they are not to be trifled with. As we are seeing WBG, full blue armor, some purple weapons on the board. They've got their ults. They're looking ready to go as XCG as well. Pretty scaled, dropping some gold jades on the floor, trading them with the teammates here as we are seeing NiHQ. A blue fan in hand, blue armor, already used the ult once in the game, so they're recharging it for the second time here as we're seeing Sleepwalker pulling up on WBG now is going to be pulling up onto J-Team. And they are extremely scaled. J-Team is at a huge disadvantage right now, especially with the fact that WBG has all of their ultimates.
Yeah, they are going to be keeping that pressure up onto them, J-Team. Scattering away for now, though, evading and avoiding getting into a fight with a WBG. Just getting himself a little treasure trove there. It's J-Team. Now going to just be playing on the edge of the zone, actually. I mean, it's not the edge of the zone yet, but where the zone will be. It's actually been a much quieter start to this game, considering how Game 4 was very, very explosive at the beginning. This game has been a lot more tame. I mean, if you have a look at the scoreboard, you can see, 3 kills for XCG, 3 kills for JDG, 3 kills to Bowder, 1 to BBE. But outside of that, that is it. It is an incredibly quiet game across the board. And BBE, with the fact that they haven't got Fat Milk and no way to get him up, I'm going to be a little bit concerned right now, so looks like they are just going to back off as we are going to keep our eyes on WBG here, who have found JL. TXJ jumps down into the action. Got the fans. Going to put the F down just to buy some space. Has that ultimate up and available now. It's just going to try and get the range poke and harass from the fans out. Here comes the ultimate. VVV. Mechs up as well. They got the Sandstorm. I mean, JL have just full committed to this one. Remember, those Yoto slashes, they go through terrain. They go through walls as Sleepwalker. Low HP. They will keep the pressure onto him. He is able to heal up somewhat, but he has every ultimate in the book used to chase him down. As they've got onto Sleepwalker here. Sleepwalker getting shot out from the sky from the mech. TXJ playing this a little bit more hesitantly. Doesn't have that ultimate anymore. Doesn't have a mech that they can get themselves in. But they are still jumping onto as Baige able to turn it around, finding themselves one. TXJ gets through the armor. Baige keeping the pressure on, but does lose their armor in response. Are they going to be able to find the turnaround here? One Fang trying to find a parry, trying to find a counter opportunity, but it's there for Baige instead. One Fang goes down. JL tried to start the fight, but they lost it.
The longevity of the comp for the Sand Siphon comp is what makes it such a desirable comp to play is if you get ulted on by a blind date team, if you get ulted on by a cannonball team, your survivability with the Z-Ping or the Kurumi is you can survive for so long and you can just turn around and ult them back and they've done so much damage to you, but you're still at full HP. It's just something completely unfathomable when you execute it right. Like, you can't be wasting your ults, but you also have so much more time to use that Takeda ult. If you time your shoves right, if you don't, you just use all of them and throw them at will, you can really do a lot of work with it. As Bauda playing on the Ice Pit comp, facing off against 5-2-1, both Yushans in ultimate right now. We're going to try and see the slam to get a couple of these out. 5-2-1 Zien is going to be trying to get the kill onto Yiran. You're unable to get a soul bloom here, healing up a little bit, or just getting a little bit of health back if you're going to see him trying to back off from this fight now. All of the ultimates are down, so they are going to end up just going for the reset here and not re-engaging into this fight. They do have a couple of bodies that they're able to loot on this side here, getting a lot better loot than they had before, and this is going to give them a big advantage going into this next circle here. DRG, 1 kill on the board so far, going into their Bane's Breath. Looks like they're going to try and get the kill onto FPX, getting chased by XCG on the other side here, as Water is going to go down to JT, actually, and the rest of the Fun Plus Phoenix team, Xiaohu, the last remaining player, is going to end up getting chased down by XCG. This is going to be a very difficult one for him. He can't throw blues because the Takeda is just going to slam him over. Oh, J-Team on the third party. Huge Tessa charm coming in. NiHQ getting charmed up here as we're going to see the rest of this team try to come in. NiHQ tries to peel with the Takeda. We are going to see the Aurora Burst coming up from Kakashi, dealing so much damage. Oh my goodness, but they are going to get full stunned here. Oh my goodness, they're so low.
Just able to bail out in the last nick of time there. Very, very close fight. Can see there's a Amora's Blessing with a Draco Storm inside it near J-Team. So once they're reset and rehealed, maybe they'll go pressure onto that. Obviously, Mora's Blessings will be spawning, and Mora's Blessings and Realm Yangs will be spawning up fairly soon. So expect to see some action around that part. But yeah, all in all, it's been a relatively tame start. A few teams, though, are really starting to pop off. And yes. Okay, so I talk about this quite a lot. Seb, I don't think we've had this conversation. I love circles that do this, where chunk of the circle actually falls off the map. So you lose so much space in the zone. If this was a dead center circle, you'd have all that space that you could go into, but you can't go into the water. There's no loot in the water. So resources suddenly start to dry up. Suddenly the space on the map starts to run up, and actually the game then speeds up quite a lot. And the circle following this one also is cut off by the waterfront as well. So there's going to be even less space in the next circle going forwards, basically accelerating the pace of this game by a pretty significant margin. So this is always a very, very fun style of game to watch, as BBE thinking about getting into that Realm of Yang. WBG are trying to gatekeep them from it, as J-Team got themselves in a bit of a scrap versus XCG already. They've got Z down. They're looking to chase onto Lee as well. Coming in for the stun, but that is going to be the slam down from NiHQ. J-Team's Ice, the only player left standing as a third party, does come in the meanwhile. DRG versus BBE is going to be one of the Realm of Yangs as well. Whole bunch of teams jumping into these Realm of Yangs, and we'll cut over to BBE versus DRG now at this point, as up into the sky they go as the barrier comes down and the fight starts out. Roshishi under Yoto has had a phenomenal performance on this today, multiple times now, jumping into DRG's Wushin 98, forcing him to ult now nice and early, while Roshishi holds the ultimate, isn't going to throw it down. The mech comes down as well, burning those ultimates early here from BBE. They're just trying to wait them out until they can then use their ults as an advantage. But Roshishi, losing a lot of HP in the meanwhile, is going to have to throw their ult down themselves. Is going to try and go aerial, actually chasing in forwards onto these members. Health bars incredibly low, exceptionally low. There's the few slices that Roshishi needed to secure the kill. Ivan going to form a barrier for Roshishi to heal up on, and now Fat Milk is just buying the time for the team, securing 2 kills off on the back. The mech times out, and DRG are melted by BBE. They are back with a vengeance after game number 4. Down goes the final player. It is a tragic last stand as BBE take the win.
Fat Milk putting in so much work on the U-shot, able to lock those players down for the Yodo to come in and capitalize, and then the Fairy mech from behind dealing so much excess damage as well. Perfectly executed play. Roy Shishi never fails to amaze. And building on what you were saying earlier, my brain kind of did a little explosion when you were mentioning about the games going quicker due to the circle being cut off by the water. I've never thought about that before.
It makes the map so much smaller. You lose like all that space of resources as well, so there's less like health and armor pots flying around, less weapon repair kits. It makes a massive impact.
It's absolutely wild to think about it that way. I've never thought about it like that before, and now that I'm seeing it like that, I'm like, you're so right. And it is going to be interesting to see how much faster this game is going to be, as we're seeing JDG doing a little bit of scouting, because the last time we've seen these teams respawn without scouting, they got messed up pretty quickly here, as we did see J-Team as well. Fully eliminated from the game. They did get taken out by XCG. They tried to rematch in that fight, and they did end up going down. The Aurora Burst a little bit too strong there, as DRG now facing off against WBG. They do have that Vermilion's bird buff, so they will be okay if they end up going out. Sleepwalker forced to send out that ultimate pretty early here, getting down barely low, but is able to end up getting peeled for by the team. We are going to see the ultimate come out. The Mortal Defiance has procced, the F procced as well, but Sleepwalker is going to go down. We are going to see him cure the Yang depletion here, as WFC is going to end up getting the 1.0s off onto BaiG, but the charged attack going into the Takeda F1 is going to end up rolling WFC around, as Zai here now is going to take A Xiao out. And you know, what do you know? I said the katanas become obsolete. There's Zai running the katana. I don't think we've seen one in trios, or pro play, or especially trios, in a very long time, but it's nice to see it happen. EWG9 finally put in some motion there, but the double parry right before TE ports out to steal his weapon as well. EWG losing his purple dual halberds. And they did pick up one kill there, but the teleport out is going to end up not letting them capitalize and finish all of that, as JDG back in the game here looking... Oh my goodness, BB's Ivan. Oh, they found him. He's got 67 seconds left on that res here. They don't want to give him the kill, but they might have to here. The F3 comes out, and
there it is.
The F3 of his own. He said, you know, you got an F3, mine will kill you. So have fun with that.
Interesting as well, how I was saying, oh, it's quite a slow game. No one's really doing much. As soon as the zone shifts, basically makes it a tinier map. Instant action, instant explosion. We have 20 players left in this game. Now, to be fair, 9 of them are currently being revived, so they'll be coming back fairly quick. We're already up to 21 at this point. Now back down to 20 thanks to TE taking down EWG. Looking to finalize and put down the last couple of shots here. Doing so much work. TE making quick work of that one. Able to secure themselves a kill, but the fights haven't been finished up, as FBX find themselves in a scrap versus XCG. NiHQ, full armor, full health. Ready to go in for the fight with the fans. Gonna put some damage in onto water. FBX lose that. Dongqing next up. And that is just a nice and easy pickup fight here for NiHQ and the rest of XCG. 19 players left with 15 minutes on the clock. This game has just gone 100 to 0 so quick, or 0 to 100 so quick.
Well, I mean, you could argue it'd be 100 to 0 as well. Because,
well, for some teams, yeah.
People are starting to get picked off really, really fast here. It's not even second Yang. Like, we saw teams getting fully eliminated before first Yang. So
look at this second circle as well.
So crazy. Yeah, it's going to be just keeping on taking away playable space from these players and making them have to clutter together a lot sooner. It's 5-2-1 here. They're going to try and make the way over to the Yang portal to try and maybe snipe a Yang and get third. It looks like they are going to end up going in first here. Good chances are they are going to have to end up fighting a team. JDG, 9 kills on the board for them. This is we haven't seen too much from JDG in the past couple of games. They They had one good game. They did get an MVP, but they had started to get a little bit inconsistent there, but picking the pace back up again. They're off of the ice pick. They're back now onto the blind date, and we are going to see them going up against the Cannonball. 5-1 Cloud is going to end up popping in that ultimate right away. Tutik gets hit by the F3 from the Feria, and we're going to see the ultimates come out now. Feria ult. We're going to see the Tessa ultimate, the Viper ultimate, Yushan ultimate coming out. Tutik getting dangerously low here is forced to back off. We're going to see the Wu Chen port come out now. The turret shots coming in. It's going to go down. The Yoda ultimate coming out. Focusing on Kiki here. Kiki getting dangerously low. Yin just spamming shots on ZDI. And Kiki getting dangerously low here. 1 HP and a dream. Nobody noticing him though, so he's going to get a pot off. They are focusing most of their firepower on ZDI. And now it's a 3v1. Perfectly executed by 5-2-1 here onto JDG. The silence as well coming out, making it impossible for Kiki to use the F. Oh my goodness, 5-2-1. Where was that all day? You wait till game 5 to bring that energy out?
They've been playing well all day. They've just kind of been victims of their own grief. Like, you know, receiving what they're giving. Because they are a team who've been scrapping and third-partying a bunch and salty run-backing. I think that's been their biggest flaw, is their salty run-backs. They've been pretty guilty of losing a fight and going, we can take him, we almost had him, and then just running straight back into the fight and going down for it. That's been their biggest failing, and when they stop doing that, they do start to look way better. As Balder able to take down Sleepwalker, cutting this down to 16 players left in this game. A very, very fast accelerated game. 12 minutes left as well, so at this point, they've kind of trimmed out the excess to make up for the lack of space on the map, and it probably will go back to being a little bit more normal from now, unless they just feel because there's less people, they're less likely to get third party. That is an option as well.
You're talking about mowing lawns. Yeah, trimmed out the excess, just like wiping out teams. Absolutely insane plays though coming out. This is the replay here from JDG and 5-2-1. This is from JDG's perspective. Tutik here trying to make the play. They do end up getting the pick onto 5-2-1 Cloud, and then it comes into a parry. This must have been an earlier Realm of Yang that we would have seen, because Kiki went out in the first one, so this was I am very confused right now.
It was probably their first one.
Okay, the first Realm of Yang, we had witnessed the second one first and the first one second. Ladies and gentlemen, JDG lost both times. That's what you need to know. Unfortunate for them. 5-2-1, yeah, they have the potential to do well, but they're
my word.
Like, their 3v3 plays are absolutely amazing. But
the third zone is also in the water slightly. Not as much.
Yeah, not as much, but yeah, I'm seeing what you're meaning now. It's getting pretty crazy there. But yeah, 5-2-1, they have the potential in the 3v3 scenario with no third parties, with no outside factors coming into their fights. But when it comes to actually in game, they position themselves to get griefed so much. Yes. And they just need to figure out what's blocking them in game and just adapt a little bit, and they're going to be such a powerful team. I feel like at least by the 4th or 5th bye week, they're going to have at least, 1 or 2 MVPs on the board. They're going to be in the finals. Hopefully we'll get to see it, as TE's Leo is going to end up just scale rushing away. JDG need kills in the next 1 minute and 30 seconds. Otherwise, they are going to be toast.
Well, it looks like TE are in their scopes right now, landing a couple of shots off with the pistol in the distance. ZDI keeping the pressure on. Is going to look to try and grapple forwards. They're taking this quite slow considering they've only got a minute left in the game. Han tries to get on the urn, gets interrupted before that can happen, so the Tep is going to come in, but the work from the staff onto ZDI absolutely melting through that health bar. In the jump, gonna quickly ping out to safety from JDG. JDG used a lot there, and TE have to blink into the zone to get away. But they need to find this pressure. There's probably about 40 seconds left for JDG before they are knocked out. Almost 50 seconds. They don't have long to get these kills onto TE, and they've done a lot of the groundwork. They just need to start putting the dunks in, as it looks like Han is the first person in their closest proximity, and Han has a lot of HP. They're chasing onto Leo. JDG, can they find at least one? Can they revive at least one player? 30 seconds left on the clock. I don't know if they can do this. Han trying to break away. They catch the charm onto him. That's going to be their opening. That's going to be their opportunity to finish up Han. Han's knocking them back. Han's found the opportunity. The staff work onto JDG is denying them so terribly. They're caught out by a charm as well. It is an absolute bloodbath over here. 7 seconds left for JDG. I don't think they're going to be able to put those kills together in time, so they're going to try and take one with them. But down they go. 2 fall to the curse. I believe one player actually... Nope, they were just taken out already. 2 players down to the curse. They didn't give any kills over, most crucially. A TE survived the play for now.
Absolutely crazy. The teleport out by TE's Leo, putting them into the zone, was the most crucial part, and the peel from the Merciless Havoc. They finally got the charm on someone. They're like, we're focusing them down. They're gonna die, and the Merciless Havoc just comes in, and the gold focus is so powerful that it's just able to push these players off of Han, and he's able to back off and survive, giving them that extra chance, that extra time, and it runs the clock out on the Yang depletion, causing them to then lose their lives. 5-2-1 over here. Free box. Nobody even close in proximity to them, as the closest players are just a little bit south of their location right now. BBE with the Valiant challenge on the other SVA team. And yeah, 16 players with 8 minutes remaining is very interesting. XCG covering that bottom area of the next circle. Circle 4 is going to be closing onto circle number 5 in 25 seconds. We have 8 minutes and 4 seconds left in the match with 16 players remaining.
Yeah, it's all to play for still. Very, very few players. Only 6 teams left in the game. I'm not even sure if that's full teams, actually. I need to look at the scoreboard to get an idea of that one, but I do expect it just to be one spark to really kick off the action here. XCG finding out onto Bowder. Yoran putting some pressure into Kakaishi, but not full committing. Just going to try and get a little bit of a chunk out. Misses the hit. Doesn't land any flavor damage, so there's no real reason to go for a follow-up. It's just going to scale rush back onto the roof. Head to a bit of safety here. 7 minutes 30 left. It is really bated breath considering how explosive the beginning of the game is. We still haven't had that Bane's breath at the end of the game, so there's still that to look forward to. There's still that to be concerned about.
The late game Bane as well, that completely changes with the circle being less playable, because the Bane is going to be on the playable areas. So it's, they're going to, oh my goodness, that you have opened and expanded my mind,
haven't I, today?
And I am thanking you for it. I will never look at this game the same again. I'll be checking these circles. And that's the best part of, watching the Pro League, being in the community, is even as a caster, every day I'm learning new things. I'm thinking of new concepts. I'm picking up new ideas, new compositions, everything. It's such a knowledgeable community. And if you just, really listen, you will learn so much. Taking a look, though, as we are learning what Bauda is going to be trying to do here. As the late game Bane jumps in, and look at that. It is right where everyone is. DRG Zai forced to hop into that Feria ultimate here. Pampy is going to end up backing off in 5-2-1. Going to the outside as now BBE sending some musket shots off. He is right in the middle of the Bane's Breath. He's the last remaining member of DRG. It would be very unfortunate for him to go out to the Bane. He surfed that. Oh my goodness. Missed him by a millimeter. As XCG covering this top area, if they want to rotate into the circle, they're either going to have to go through TE, they're going to have to go all the way around, which is going to take them a while, and they're going to have to pass through Bauda, or they're going to have to go into that Bane's Breath, which is looking incredibly dangerous. As we're going to see these musket shots getting sent off into the cave below, as 5-2-1 look like to be holding this cave. There's advantages and disadvantages to holding that underground right there. There's only one way. It looks like there's maybe 2 ways in. Yeah, 2 ways in here, as 5-2-1 starting to take a lot of damage, but they're able to block TE from entering, and Han getting dangerously low here, forced to corner himself off. We're going to see them set the charms in. If they're getting attacked on both fronts in that cave, it's going to be very dangerous. especially maneuvering in and out of the zone from under there. So it is a risky play by 5-2-1, but if they're able to pull it off, they're always risky plays. And 5-2-1 look like they're doing a pretty good job. They're blocking off these attacks, but if Han goes in there with the Viper ultimate, they could be in a lot of trouble. He's sending out the Dragon-like to just send some warning, pop his head in, get some information, and back right off. And it looks like they're actually going to take full control.
4 minutes left, 16 players left still. So, all in all, the circle made for a very, very powerful and explosive mid-game, but things have calmed off. That Bane's Breath, I only saw hit Cloud once, and everyone else was A-OK. TE actually finding an opportunity to pressure onto Bowden. Now that the circle's got small enough, it's a bit too small for 16 people, so that number is going to have to get trimmed down now at this point as LYD trying to pressure is just going to reposition with the help of the Wu Shen, but XCG know exactly where that is. TE get inside the hole where 5-2-1 are. Do not want to be dealing with that one, so they do just back off. 5-2-1 quite happy to hold this ground now for the moment. Stay where they are. BBE pressuring onto TE, using the cannon from the mech, just getting LYD very low, stripped all of that armor away from them. TE somehow evading all of the attention of the rest of the lobby. As Roy Shishi's just trying to get a couple of extra shots off onto them, unable to make those work. Land those hits right now, as it is just a bit of a waiting game. TE have found themselves in that little crevice where they can put the wind wall up and hide underneath for now. 5-2-1 though are going to be quite comfortable inside their little badger hole. Don't think anybody's going to be going down there anytime soon. That is a very, very geared up 5-2-1. So they're just happy to hold out this mid game. Got 11 kills, well, this late game, sorry, got 11 kills, waiting for the final circles before they emerge from their burrow and attack everybody else and finish up whoever is left over. 15 players left though. It is, I haven't seen a Buccaneer phase in a while, but that feels like where we're at right now. Everybody with cannons and muskets just taking shots at each other.
Yeah, we're getting into a bit of a range battle. I like the Buccaneer phase. That sounds way better. TE's LYD here. Dragon-like might. They have Aurora Blast as well, dealing so much damage to XCG. Kakashi and NiHQ getting brought solo. Ibid coming in with a crazy kill. Baoda's Jing picking up the kill onto Kakashi. Oh my goodness, everyone's going at it now. We're seeing Xiaonan getting frozen here, and now we're going to see Fat Milk as well. Yiran on the Justina doing so much damage. TE's Han is going to go down to Baoda's Jing. Xiaonan going down to Peak. Baoda picking up 2 kills here. Roy Shishi taking a lot of damage as well. And now we're going to see as well all of these ultimates starting to fly. Roy Shishi in the Yodohime ultimate is going to send off his shots. Yiran taking a lot of damage, using that freeze to be able to take the damage of the shots. 5-2-1 still just hanging out, just vibing, letting people know, well, if they want to exit the cave, they have to go into the storm there. Now they're coming. They're ready to go. They see everyone use their ults, and now it's time for cleanup, baby. Here we go. 1 kill.
Wait, they're doing it.
On the run. They're going to Phoenix Blast, NiHQ. They're just taking everybody out. There's no teams with multiple players left. TE's Leo is going to try and send off an Aurora Burst here. Everyone's starting to ult. Pampy saving his ultimate here. Everybody else has burned their ults, so 5-2-1 have a huge advantage. Fat Milk here trying to kite into the skies is the lowest player in the lobby, but has managed to get away. NiHQ has found himself in the cave, taking residence in the old spot. Leo is going to go down to Yin, and 5-2-1 might be getting themselves an MVP here. Oh my goodness. Fat Milk going down. 5-2-1 picking up another kill with the Feria F3 here. NiHQ and Baoda's Jing, the remaining 2 players. Baoda's Jing trying to make something happen. We're going to see a huge parry coming out into the Neja's Might, but able to back it off the other way. Looks like the Yodo ultimate's coming out as well. Another parry coming off. Baoda's Jing just toying around, kiting. 5-2-1 Cloud is going to end up picking up the kill. NiHQ, the last remaining player on the field that is not a 5-2-1 and instantly dead. 5-2-1, ladies and gentlemen.